Hey guys, welcome to another episode of All Bass Creations Effects Tutorials, Demos, and Review. Today we have up the brand new Zoom MS-60B Plus. Now, those of you that have been following me for a while know I love Zoom pedals. I have the original MS-60B, which is right over here, it's just down on the floor. I also have the original MS-50G, and I also have the Zoom B3 and the Zoom B6. So, of course, I had to review this, and was excited like everybody else that's a Zoom fan, call it what you want, but hey, Zoom work, you know what I'm saying? And it sound good, as you can hear. So, just brand new pedal, kind of hard to get a hold of at the moment, so if you find one somewhere available, you might want to grab it if you're looking into it, because it's definitely worth buying it. Let me go ahead and tell you right now, it's definitely worth buying, but keep watching so you can see what it's capable of. I want you guys to see how this thing is pretty incredible. So what you're looking at here is this the actual pedal. If you run a USB out, you can run that to your iPad, or if you have an iPhone or something like that. And I'm sure they'll have the desktop, compatibility soon with it. I'm pretty sure of that. But even if they don't, you get plenty of capabilities just with the pedal itself. So because of the type of screen it is, it's kind of difficult to see. So I decided to just I'm gonna show you things on the pedal and off the pedal, with the screen. So just like things with my settings, I'm gonna show you here on the iPad. That way it'd be a little easier for you to see. And of course, for some reason, my iPad won't let me um, screen share while it's doing this with the MS-60B. At Plus. I'm so used to MS-60B Plus. But this thing, okay, so if you was wondering, that it does have these multi-layered IRs, is what they call it. Um, and this one is what you were listening to. You can see it on the screen there. I kind of made a little makeshift pedal board where I have, first up, have a line selector. So if I want to have all of this on, but I still want to be able to go straight to a dry signal, I can literally just hit the line selector and it just goes straight. Anything that's before it will play, and anything, if nothing's before it, goes just whatever you ran into the pedal will go straight, bypass all the effects in the pedal. And basically, what it effectively allows you to do is to turn all 5 of these effects on and off at once. So, bypass. And then line selector, the entire board. So that's a nice little feature. So basically, if I wanted to, what I got up here, let me just explain what I got here for a second. I got a bass analog octaver on here. That would be this one. And that is essentially like that OC2 sound. And so, you know, these are my actual settings for that. Is really just the octave down rather, with nothing else on. But of course, you can experiment and add a little bit of dry signal, all that extra stuff. But if you want that classic OC2 sound, you just need that octave down, and that actually is very close. Nobody's gonna know the difference. Like, trust me, nobody's gonna know. But an actual OC5, OC3, OC2 is gonna, it's gonna sound um, a little better. But you talking about on the gig, this on just grabbing just one little pedal, being able to roll out. This joint's fire. So to have an effect to have in there. So, and it's pretty good. So one thing I will say that I love that they upgraded on this one is the ability to have one side go be processed. Excuse me, sorry guys, I got a little sun in my eye there. Come on. Yeah. All right, we good. So if you look here on the screen, you see this little R there, little line. It has the ability to basically have the amp simulation go out of the left input, and then have the right input be something every just effects like I have here. So everything, all of this would be running into the right and the left signal up until this Zetron filter, and then that would run out into the right signal. Now it doesn't allow you to. Let me see. Like, Yeah, it doesn't allow you to put it on the amp, um, the amp simulation and the IRs on the right channel, which is good. Um, I actually like that. You can have it set to where that's not an issue where you can, it's on everything if you wanted to. But you have the option in order to split that signal flow up so you can send this right channel to your actual physical amp and then, oh, sorry guys, getting a little out of view here. I don't know how that happened. Yeesh. So get this right channel going to your amp, left channel going to the house or wherever. So you can have them run that to a DI box and then run that out. Not having a DI or XLR out is really not that big of a deal, guys. And I'll tell you why. Because most sound engineers are going to have DI boxes. Like, what kind of sound company is this that doesn't have DI boxes? Like, what are they doing? Like, they'll have it if they're professionals. So, whether you have it on the there or you have it on the amp, they'll have a way. Your amp. A lot of the amp heads also have an XLR, so you know you can have it running both two different amps. You can have it signal running from your amp, XLR to the house, and have a signal from the left channel here running in Aguilar or whatever amp model you would like in there running to the house. So I got mine with the Aguilar 750 amp on there with the cab simulation. And so the main difference, this is kind of like a scaled down B6 or B24. It's kind of like a scaled down version of those. So it definitely has a few less options. Like you can't really swap out these cabinets. At least I haven't found a way to. Pretty much whatever cabinet is supposed to be with that amp head is what you got to roll with. If you want the freedom to switch cabs and do all that stuff, you need a Zoom B24 or a Zoom B6, and it allow you to do all that, have all those extra capabilities. But for this, they didn't allow you to do that. So this one, but that's not a bad thing. These cab sims, these cab IRs are really good. The cab sims to me are more so they just emulating the sound of a cabinet, while IR is an actual the way that cabinet, a capture of that cabinet through certain mics in a certain environment. And I actually have my own set of IRs coming out. Shout out to me. Let's go. Caught you. So, make sure y'all hit that like button as well, so you get more content like this. And but yeah. So you get plenty of stuff on here. Get your bright, deep bright. I'm not going through every single effect, and I'm not going through all the presets, guys. That's not. I don't do reviews like that. I pretty much like to set up stuff and see the functionality of things. So basically, you won't have to fool with that, but you get a blend for the cabinet. So that does help. You can have it more on the DI side, like it's coming straight out the amp head. If you want to turn it off completely, you just return it to, turn it to 0. And if you want to do this from the pedal, you can also do that. Go over. So basically, you just kind of start turning these little knobs here, and you can adjust things this way. You can scroll. The bigger effects, like an amp model, is going to have 2 pages. So you wanted to turn that cab up with the physical knob. Or turn it off. So I think one of the things they did, well, they at least got the cabs to sound really, really good, decently. If you want to do more tone shaping with that, you of course can just use different EQs on here or preamps, depending on how you want to use the unit. Like one of the tricks I like to use, you know, just so you guys know, we also got this blueberry driver on here. I love that. Sounds nice too. Real nice. Nice overdrive. And of course, Zoom is kind enough to add a nice blend knob in there. You got to have a good blend knob with the distortion and the overdrives, things like that. So that definitely helps out a lot. And then you got like this Z-Tron filter, which is a Electro Harmonics Z-Tron emulation. And that joint get funky too. So great sounding, and of course the legendary 1176 limiter. And now this is one of the best 1176 emulations, and you get it right on the Zoom pedals, and it's kind of crazy. Like, it never gets talked about. A lot of people overlook Zoom just because it's not a fancy name. I've never looked at them like I guess a budget company per se, but I guess that's what they kind of are when it comes to this stuff. But these are some of the best effects you'll ever run across for a bass. Like, these are some of the best multi-effects units, period. I don't want to hear it. Like, they cost effective. They pack in a bunch of different type of effects. the essentials and the stuff they're emulating, they're usually pretty darn close to be at that price range that they at to even be getting it. For example, the 1176 limiter. So I'm gonna play without it first. And the cool thing is when you select stuff on here, on the pedal, you can choose to turn it on and off. You can scroll back and forth. If you want to scroll up the memory banks, you can go this way, bam, bam, bam. You press this, you get your menu. You press this, you get to all your menu and stuff you need, patch name, the right out position, stuff if you just had the pedal you would need. Revert the patch, copy patch, new patch, erase patch, output level, autosave, pre-select, library sound, USB, MIDI, battery type, backlight, contrast, and a set. So all your little features you need for that, basically. So bam. When you want something on, let me see. You just come in. If you tap it on the screen here, and turn it on, it'll come up as well on the pedal. What that allows you to do is turn stuff on and off. So theoretically, if you wanted to control stuff while you were on stage, and it'd be a little easier to have this screen up there, just an iPad, sitting up there to be able to control this, if this is all you wanted to use. And you could turn things on and off relatively easy. But, all right, so let's 1176. This is without it. With it. So, as you can hear, it's definitely, I have it set very subtly, but it can definitely get a lot more aggressive than that. Especially the more you push up into it, you could double tap this as well, each parameter. So once you click on an effect, bam, right, it just pop up. You could double click that, and then you can adjust things this way too. Say you want to get pretty precise and you're having a hard time using your finger doing it, they gave you a little option there. So that's one of my favorite compressors out of here. My other one is, let's change this to the 160 compressor, which is the DBX 160A compressor, rack mount compressor, emulation. So, let's tap. Come on. Once you tap on like change or something, in order for it to be able to do editing stuff, you got to tap it again. Then it'll go back to this. Then you can edit things again. So, yep, it's still set up for me. Here we go. No, that is fire. Being something that's $140, you know how much a good compressor by yourself could run you $140. That's the thing about these little multi-stomp pedals. They are compact with some really good effects. Like, and granted, I don't like that they took off a few of my favorites, like the Bit Crusher, which are it looks like they might be allowing you to add effects on and off. So maybe they'll open it up to add that Bit Crusher back on and take off one of the other effects I'm not using as much, which is awesome too. So, you know, they kind of took advantage of the old ones. You had to hack them. So now they're going to be giving you just go ahead and give you the ability to swap in and out effects, which is really cool. Especially because they could be acting all funny and like, I don't want to do that and make us hack it again. Well, not us, because I'm not good at that, but somebody figured out how to do it. I said us, like I was on that joint. Yeah, like I ain't do nothing. But all right, so let's check out some of these other amps. Excuse me. All right, so you got quite a few. As you can see, the amps really eat. Let's go back here. I'm gonna get rid of something on here so I can choose whatever amp I wanna. This is easiest to get back. So we're gonna change this amp here, and we got all these different amps, as you can see. Flip top, SVT, Aguilar, DB750, SWR, 400. They got what's this? EBS, Mark Bass, Trace Elliott, Fender Bassman, Acoustic 370, a Sun amp in there, you know, and a monotone amp, whatever. I've never been able to figure out what that monotone was in particular, but let's go ahead and switch to a good old SVT. And I'm going to switch this back to the limiter. So back. Now let's pull this back so it's not just on it. Right. Here we go. Now, I will say one of my favorite things to do is to add. I kind of like to emulate studio channel strip. Like their kind of signal flow they use for my IR direct to the house signal, right? So what I do is I use 1176 style compressor, but I also come into the preamps and I grab this 160. It's 1073 preamp, which if you watch any of my B6 stuff, you know I love this 1073. Neve 1073 mic preamp is one of the most famous recording preamps ever, and it sounds just amazing, but they're so expensive. Just a one input joint is going it's like 1700, and here they are, Zoom giving you a very nice, beautiful emulation of it, and really adds a lot of character to your sound, to the point where I'll do things like this. I'll put it on maybe 30, it's just 35, whatever. The gain's not super important, but you want to crank the main volume, and we can bring this volume down some. one of the best things about their amps in here is that you know, in the cabinet models, even though they didn't give you all the options they give you on the B6, and you can't like load your own custom ones and all that extra stuff, you can't change it basically. These ones, you still, in the beef I had with the Line 6 Pod Express bass, the main one is that the cabinet models didn't have a way of mixing in your the DI signal from the amp head. So it wasn't even necessarily about it being the dry signal. You know, you can get the dry signal and all of that out of here as well if you wanted to. You know, but you just simply and just so you can see it real quick. If I wanted to get my dry signal out, I would just do that and have the R running before, and then it would bam, my dry signal would be like my bass running in and here out of here. They also have improved this analog circuitry on this as well. So it's even bypasses. It sounds better bypassed than the old one too. You know, it doesn't color your sound at all. You know, that's the exact way my bass sounds. Like, you know, and I don't have any. I'm not like, oh, is it? No, it's that's the way it pretty much sounds. I mean, I'm not hearing the difference between that and the regular tone. So, which is good. So, but you know, for the purposes of this video, we're gonna put the right channel splitting off there, so we get 3 effects before, and then we got 3 effects running on the left channel to the house, which is what you're listening to in the system here. So, you know, I could change this out to a Trace Elliott amp, and let's put these on. And that's something, you know, that's a little tip for you guys. But this Trace Elliott amp sounds good though. I actually really like the way that sounds. Yeah. Um, and the reason I'm not doing too much on the pedal is because it'll be much more difficult for you guys to see what I'm actually doing. Compared to doing it on the iPad, you guys can at least visually see a little better. With internally going on, all the parameters and stuff that I'm adjusting. But on the pedal, it's just as simple. You know, like I said, you just would turn the knobs and it would get to the move. If you just turn one click, it'll go to the parameters menu. And if you know, after a while, if you want to exit, it'll go back there. But if you just turn the knob, you know, if you just turn it one click, it won't change. But so say I just touch a knob, any knob, one click, bam, and then just press the knob to exit. And if I want to move through the different effects, I can do that as well. And the screen to change colors based on it. Now, one thing I will say I don't like this matrix, this new menu they added, the way they added it. Now, I'll show you what I'm talking. Well, yeah, I hope you guys can see it on screen. But so I'm gonna click on library. So if you click this button here, the second one from the left. So there's one. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The third one. See, now I'm in this like matrix thing, library thing, and I can go up, and that changes different effects. Oh, sorry. And that's the other thing. So they did up and down like this, up and down, and then they did left and right here. So if you want to go up and down, you gotta remember that this is up and down, not this. This is not up and down. So, um, just something to know. I know you guys are probably like, you the only slow one. Nah, but um, yeah, you can easily just change effects this way as well. And once you pretty much get to the type, you got to kind of know that a chorus is a modulation. You got it doesn't just skip. You can't. It's no way to basically just skip to the direct one. So basically, you got to know what you're looking for and what type of effect it is and what all the other effects around it is. Like, you need to get to a delay. You need to know that these, if it says analog delay or delay anything, you can just scroll up and down and get your different delays. Then you can scroll over and get to your reverbs up and down. Then you can scroll back over and get to any of your other stuff. Red is drives. Orange is envelope filters and that type of EQs. Purple is compressors. You know, blue, green is reverb, and this yellow is like special effects. So it's definitely nice little fretless simulator there. Like I said, I'm not going through all the effects, guys. I'm just kind of just doing a brief, giving my initial thoughts and basically letting you guys know if it's worth getting or not. Because I know it's kind of like they ain't really giving y'all too much information on it. There isn't really any videos on it that are useful. So I had to make something that was useful for you guys. You guys, um, if you can't tell, I love Zoom pedals by how many of them I have. So, um, yeah, this is definitely worth checking out, and it can be a standalone. Now, this is a standalone unit. You can use it by itself for sure, and or you can use it to build out a smaller pedal board. Say you took this, and say you didn't want to use the amp models on here, right? So that's going to just give you more processing power to play with, in terms of synth stuff and preamps and stuff. So you can run that and run like a TC, a Tonex one. You get a little Tonex one in this, and like a deep freeze electro harmonics nano pedal, something like that. Um, and pretty much that's your whole gig rig right there. That's your amp models. Like, you got some of the best amp models that's available right now in the Tonex one. These amp models are really good, so you don't have to get any of that. You can just run this by itself. But if you wanted a killing little pedal board that's just 3 pedals, that you'd be surprised how versatile it is. The IK Multimedia Tonex 1 this joint, this MS-60B Plus. And let's just give it up because that's a beautiful pedal. That's a beautiful pedal. You know, it don't feel like it's all metal, and I mean it is metal, I think. Can't really tell. It feels hard. Like it doesn't. If it is plastic, it don't feel cheap. It don't look cheap. It's got nice red to it. I love that red on there. Very nice pedal, looking pedal. Very feels quality. You know, typical of Zoom stuff. You know, line 6. Take notes. You know, yeah. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share though. Don't forget that either. So, you know, I definitely appreciate y'all hanging out with me. This is an amazing little pedal here. So, and eventually I'm gonna do videos on all. Don't worry, guys. All the stuff you gonna want to know. I'm eventually do videos about. But this is just the initial. Is this worth getting or not? Type. You know what I'm saying? And just basic how to use it, what it does. With some of the advantages of it, with some features that they you might not be immediately obvious, you know. So one thing I do like they did on here is they allowed you to do up to six different ones, and they didn't have. I'm guessing because you don't have so much freedom with the amps, they were allowed you to do 6 effects with that, compared to the B6. Once you add an amp model or these preamps. Like if I had a 1073 and a Trace Elliott amp on this B6 I have, that's 4 slots altogether. So now I can only add 2 effects after that, or one other big effect. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind too. You know, what else? But yeah, so but on this one, this MS-60B Plus, I guess these might be slightly slimmed down versions of them. You know, maybe they're less process intensive, the versions they put on this, but they definitely sound good though. This Trace Elliott sounds good. Right, that sounds great along with that 1073 and that 1176. That's fire. And you still got 3 other effects on. That's crazy, yo. All in this one little pedal. And you can use it in single effect mode, or you can use it in, you know, all 6. But let's see. Let's just flip through some of these drives, I guess. Well, there we go. Let's rock and roll. And this is a dark overdrive, which is, I believe this is supposed to be dark glass. What is it, the M7K or something like that? And don't worry, guys. What I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to take my time and I'm going to create a bunch of different patches that I would use live. And pretty much I'm going to give you guys what I'm going to be having on there as my settings. You'll be able to buy those. All this stuff is going to be available along with all the cats. Pretty much um, most of the pedals that I'm be dealing with are going to a lot of them going forward. It's going to be things that you guys can program, that can be programmed, or that I can, allow you guys to have my exact presets or different things like that. So, you know, that's going to be just easy for you guys to just download on the stuff like this. Technology is making life so much easier. Instead of, if watching a video and you're like, man, I wish I can just, and I got to sit down here and try to reprogram everything he said. Not really. I'm gonna make it available for the MS-60B Plus, the Zoom B6, the Source Audio Atlas compressor, and the Tonex One. I'm also gonna be making all my preamps and models of my full rigs and just my preamps running in the amp models and all this stuff. Pretty much you're gonna have all of my sounds. You're gonna have all of my preamps and speakers and IRs. I'm also gonna be putting together IR packs as well. So you guys are gonna have access to everything. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Y'all gonna be able to just get nice tone right off the back without spending a whole lot of money. But something like this Zoom MS-60B Plus is an amazing piece of gear. So I would recommend, if you can have the option to get one, if you always wanted to get into effects but you really don't know how, just get an MS-60B Plus. Just get one of these new ones. Get one of these. That's going to get you into effects. It's not going to teach you everything, but it's going to allow you not to break the bank, and it's going to allow you to do a lot of experimenting with effects order. If you wanted to try the amp over here, and you can see what that sounds like, I learned how to put my pedal board together from playing around with Zoom multi-effects, and pretty much based on how I would set up my effects in there, that's how I set up all my pedal boards pretty much. So, you can learn a lot from just the multi-effects and working through those, and of course this has a tuner. I forgot to show you the tuner button, bam, and then you can tune, and you can press that and mute it as well. Press it. It's a way to mute it. Oh, it's right here. What did I just do with this thing? There we go. It's a way to mute it right there. I don't know why it wasn't letting me press it here. That's just a little glitch. They gotta fix that to where you could press the speaker and turn it off. But you can have the tuner bypass. Then you could tune without everybody hearing it on stage, which is preferable. There isn't really a time when I need to hear my bass coming through the system and tuning. So I always set my multi-effects pedals to mute when I go to tune. So I don't have that problem when I'm on stage. I can generally just hold down the pedal here, and bam, I'm right in there. So I love these addition of these buttons in terms of the layout. That makes this way more usable on here. What I don't love is these little knobs here are difficult to get to. If you have little stubby fingers like mine, and I don't even have the fattest fingers. Like, I have normal fingers, and if anybody that has like really massive hands, it's gonna be difficult, I guess. But and it even changes color as you're tuning. So you really don't, if you're on stage, you can't really see the like that. Like you can. Let you know, turn green when you on. It's awesome. So that makes your life a lot easier. Also, you have a clipboard on here. So say you wanted to work on things. This is why I would recommend having um, working on it in the app to a certain extent, because you get stuff like clipboard and clip. But the clipboards, you can pretty much take any of these effects and make a copy of it, and then go over to another preset, and you can paste it in there. You know, so that also helps. You know, you can clip things, add that to the clipboard. Then you come over here, say I wanted to change this to that for some reason. Got this clipboard. Let me see how I'm gonna add it. Well, I'm learning this as I'm going along with y'all. Some of the stuff I already know, but I've never used this app before because they just came out with it, and they're still working out some glitches as well. So I'm not gonna hold you guys like they not. And you can edit that and put that to the side. That's crazy. So now let me see. If I delete this, I come to the clipboard, and I can just come on. So I hold it, and then I can drag it, and I can add it like that. Okay. Did you see that? All right. I'll do it one more time. So you take this, you press clip. Say I wanted this amp, and I wanted to use it for a different patch. I can add that to the clipboard. I can literally go to another patch on here. Let's do that. Select. Hold up. Cancel. Where we at? Let's go here and come back to editor. Clipboard. Press and hold this. Swipe up and drag and drop. Got to press and hold it and then drag and drop. Wow. Now it's in another patch, and I can use it. So that's one of the advantages of it, you know. And of course, you can clip multiple things at once. As you can see, you know, it gave you options to click, you know, a few of them. Let me see if it lets you. Can you clip it once? Yep, you can clip clip two of them at once, and now they'll show up together. And see, I deleted these. Bam, bam. Right, I can press clipboard, press, hold, and it'll drag and drop in both of those at the same time, which is bananas. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. A lot of flexibility. So you can just bam. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the functionality of it. You got a USB port in there. You got pretty much everything you would need to be able to do anything you would need to do. Let me see something. Yeah, because I want to see if this joint show up. No, it doesn't show up. I don't think it's an audio interface. So I don't think it's an audio interface. I'll let you guys know in the next video for sure. But I don't think so. Typically, the multi-stomp series hasn't been a multi-effects. The USB is typically for updates and editing. So yeah, the software is, you know, it's pretty good. It can use some updates. Please, Zoom, don't leave us hanging this time. Update the stupid software, yo. like update this joint and do it frequently. So, you can add new features and stuff. Like y'all keep losing, some that is my only beef with Zoom. They for a while they'll give you a few updates, and they give you some really good ones too. Like they added a lot of functionality to stuff as they like with the original ones, they opened up and gave us a ton more effects and things like that. So please do that with this, Um, maybe give us back the bit crusher, the ring modulator, the Moog filter. Like get that M filter back on here, please. Please put the Moog filter back on here. Um, Other than that, it's got everything else I need. So um, it's an amazing pedal. And remember, you can run left side to the house, right side to your amp, and you're good to go. So this has been another episode of All Bass Creations, Effects, Tutorials, Demos, and Review. Please subscribe, like, and share. Go to allbasscreations.bandcamp. Check out my music. Go to The Bass Nagus on all social media platforms and follow me on there. And I'll catch you guys next time. Oh, make sure y'all check out famemusic.org, which is an amazing nonprofit that helps young people in the DMV, Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area. Helps them with tutoring and mentorship as well as lessons, helps them get scholarships. So it gives them access to some of the very best musicians in the area, as well as plenty of performance opportunities, things like that. So check them out, donate to them, as well, it goes a long way. And the Miss Tony Lewis will definitely help put that, go a long way. She's very, very amazing woman to work with. And the kids are really amazing. Like the kids are awesome. They're I've been working with them for years, so I can say that they got kids have gone on to go to Berkeley, which is my alma mater, Berkeley College of Music, and they also, Juilliard, New School of Music, quite a few other colleges, Maryland University, things like that. So we got kids going all over. They're everywhere. So make sure you support famemusic.org, check us out. But this has been another episode of All Bass Creations, Effects, Tutorials, Demos, and Review. I'm giving my stamp of approval on the Zoom MS-60B Plus. Go check it out. You won't be disappointed. Peace.